Bronc Bros podcast with Adam Ramirez and Sean Flanagan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bronc Bros podcast. We are a mess today, but we are going to persevere and make it through. Right, Sean?
It's festive, man. Let's get through it.
We are a disaster, but the Broncos are not, so that's a good thing. We're going to talk about that. Before we get into the Broncos, we just want to thank you guys for listening. Not every week because we don't post a video every week, but we thank you for listening as much as we actually get the posts out for you guys. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Adam Knows Ball. That's me, at BroncBros_. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on X and, I was going to say X and Twitter, but those are the same thing, Sean. And wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, that's where we will be. So, Sean, it's been a long time, man. We did not talk to them after the Raiders game because there's a lot of things going on in our lives right now that are taking precedence over talking about the Broncos, unfortunately. But we're here to talk about them today, Sean. So before we get into the game and talk about how Bo Nix is very clearly the MVP of the league, what else is going on, man? How you doing?
Oh, living the dream, man. I mean, this isn't a comedy club, man. We don't have to talk about the Raiders game. They're a joke, dude. So we're good. We can skip Raiders week.
Yeah, the Raiders, they are bad, dude.
About to fire another coach, about to waste rookie talent like they always do. So it's good, man. Chiefs are eliminated. Raiders are trash. Chargers will charger like we know that they will. So all is right in the world, man. It feels like as a Broncos fan and all your divisional hatred is just going as it should.
Had the Eagles actually won that game the other night, though, the way they were supposed to, we'd be sitting even more pretty than we actually are right now.
Yeah.
Sean, our background today is a little bit different for those who are watching us on YouTube. We had some technical difficulties, and we decided to be merry and merry and
happy
cheerful,
Festivus.
Happy Festivus for the rest of us. It's a Christmas theme. I don't know, man. We went with it. I'm not
the gift of this Broncos season, man. I don't think any of us expected it to even be as good as it is.
No.
We picked them to win the division. We picked a lot of what people viewed as outlandish stuff, and even this is crazy.
I can't believe this is real life, Sean. They've won 11 games in a row. And if you look back on this season, they should be and could be undefeated.
Undefeated easily.
It's so crazy to talk about with this team specifically, with like what looks like on paper like I don't know, what's the word? What's a nice word to say for this offense? Because they're not explosive, but they're not bad. They're underwhelming on paper. They don't have a tight end. They lost their number one running back. And yet Bo Nix just continues to just sling the ball around like he's prime Aaron Rodgers or something, prime Drew Brees, whatever you want to say. I don't think we've ever seen Bo look better than he did against the Packers.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the statistic was, but they said that the Packers hadn't let up 4 passing touchdowns in like
3 years, I think it was.
It's years. Yeah, it's been a long time. So, and to be home underdogs just proves that people don't believe it and everybody thinks that it's a fluke. And ironically enough, that's what everybody said about the Chiefs last year, that they weren't as good as that they had been, and there's no way that they were going to make it to the Super Bowl and blah, 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 because they were always in these one-score games, and at some point it was going to come to a head. And there they were in the Super Bowl. So, that's just kind of how people are treating us. It's always what the other team didn't do. It's never what the Broncos did do. Or, every week when you listen to all the shows and listen to people talk about it, it's just a bunch of haters, and they always find a reason to say why we won and didn't earn it, I guess, when, and here we are, number one team in the NFL. And now that Pat's out, arguably one of the easier schedules of, some of these top teams left. So
Pat's out?
Mahomes.
Oh, yeah. Well, they weren't a factor anyway. So let me tell you something, Sean. Never take advice from a guy who picks the Dolphins to win on Monday Night Football in 20-degree weather. I know a guy who did that.
I'm not sure who would do that.
Probably not very intelligent. Anyway, yes, Patrick Mahomes is out for the season. I would like to pour one out for Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, we don't want to see anybody get hurt, right? We loved seeing the demise of the Chiefs, but we're not out here rooting for injuries. So hopefully he can come back and continue to get demolished by the Broncos defense as he has for the last 3 seasons or whatever. Speedy recovery. Travis Kelce, enjoy your retirement. Nobody's going to miss you. Have you seen how he's acting towards the media these last 2 games? Like, he just skips out on the media. He won't talk to them after the game.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen such clownery in your life?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably, to be devil's advocate, I'm sure going from just answering Chiefs media to having to answer like worldwide nonsense media because your fiance is like the most famous musical artist in the world is probably relatively annoying for an athlete, but that's the life you chose. So I guess you kind of have to deal with it, but that's,
I mean, he's the first guy, Sean, that would be like, oh, look at me. I want to talk to the media if they were winning. But now that they're losing, he doesn't know how to act. He's an absolute clown is what he is, and a coward. He doesn't know how to act when he loses. And Sean...
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, well, I think their dynasty's over, if you ask me.
Too. Yeah, I mean, Pat's going to miss at least the beginning of next year.
You think so?
I mean, on a good day, it's 9 months, and he's not Adrian Peterson in his prime from a athlete standpoint. That's a 12-month injury typically for a normal person. So, he's a stud athlete, but I got to assume he's going to miss at least all the offseason program, preseason, maybe it leaks into the regular season, but we'll see.
If you guys are watching this on YouTube, Sean and I are yawning a lot because I was up till 3:45 this morning working, and Sean, he just is always up working.
I don't sleep, bro.
And he's a dad, and he has multiple jobs, and he's a very relatable person for a lot of you listening out there. Anyway, Sean, nobody cares about who we are as people. They want to hear about the Broncos. So I wrote a song today, Sean. It's called Go Pack, Go Home. Go Home. Because I am so sick of these visiting fans coming in here and just running their mouths. You could hear them during the game. Go Pack, go. Go Pack, go. And like the part of me was just like, dude, we could lose this game and be fine. But like the competitive fire in me is like, bro, we got to shut these people up in our stadium. We really do. And the Packers were coming out yapping at the Broncos. They were running towards Bronco players when they came out the tunnel today or yesterday for the game. And the fact that the Broncos were underdogs at home. What did Bo Nix call us after the game? Overdogs. Now they're the overdogs. So what were your thoughts on all that, all these shenanigans with the Packers and their fans and their weird apparel on top of their heads, invading Denver, and then going out?
Man. It's a good test.
Like they always do against the Broncos in Denver.
This team hasn't proved anything in the playoffs. So to have an atmosphere and have to deal with the craziness and the nonsense, I think it's exactly what you need. Because it's not going to be normal when it gets to the playoffs. It's going to be raucous, and people are going to be over the top, and you're going to be on edge with the other team. And it's exactly how it should be, man. To get that taste early, maybe not start off the greatest and finish strong. And I mean, they gave the Packers opportunities to come back and tie that game, and the defense still wouldn't allow it. So this team stands up to adversity. They win close games. They do what they're supposed to do in the fourth quarter. Cortland Sutton's going to have 1,000-yard season. There's just a lot of good things happening, man. And I think all the things that you referenced are this team can get through it, man. They don't fold under any of it. So as much as people want to say and as much people want to hate, they just find a way every single week. And that's all you can ask for as a fan, man. It might be stressful, but it's fun at the end.
Yeah, for yesterday's game, when the Packers were up 9, they made a devastatingly bad decision. Up 9, in control, short passing game's working, you're getting rid of the ball quick, right? And then you give the Broncos pass rush an opportunity to get home with a long developing play downfield, and you throw at Pat Surtain. Like they had complete control of this game. They had just scored again to go up 9 points. The Broncos defense, Broncos offense had just gone 3 and out, I think, right? And they get the ball back, and the first thing they decide to do is test Pat Surtain deep, one-on-one. And when he threw the ball, I was like, I knew it was Surtain because their only real deep threat is Christian Watson.
Yep.
And so when he threw it, I was like, okay, this is going to be Surtain. But I didn't know it was just Surtain. I thought there was maybe safety over the top or something like that. And Surtain made that catch. And I know you were kind of thinking it too. I was like, that just changed the game completely. And if you're a Packers fan, you look back at that moment yesterday and you're just like, why did we do that? What were you thinking as a Broncos fan in that moment? Were you thinking that the momentum had completely changed for the rest of the game? Were you wondering what the Packers were doing like I was?
Bro, the catch itself would be good for a top flight wide receiver.
Incredible catch.
For a defensive player to fully extend in front of the best receiver on the other team and just absolutely take it away is just, you want to talk about momentum changing, picked are great, but you have a pick like that, dude, that's insane. If you can't get up for that, dude, man, everything you said is absolutely correct. You're throwing at the defensive player of the year. You're throwing at the best corner in the league. You just don't throw that ball. You can't do it, especially up. And we've given Bo Nix crap for that and some of the bad throws and things like that. And I get it. You want to put your foot on their neck, but dude, Pat's the real deal, man. I love watching that dude play football. He's so good. And it's like, he gets a pass interference call. I think it was like 4 yards. I was like, whatever, dude, like what a crap call. But it's like free first down and Pat just shakes his head and just goes back to business, dude. He's just a dog. He's so good at football, dude. He's so much fun to watch.
For some reason, Sean, just based on the eye test alone, I don't know what the statistics look like. Teams think that they can throw on Pat Surtain this year, and it has backfired immensely. I don't understand what they're doing. I know they pick on Riley Moss in big situations, but you have seen teams go after, like the Colts went straight after him. The Packers went straight after him. I think the Chiefs, not the Chiefs. I'm sorry. Who was it? Oh man, help me out here. The Cowboys. The Cowboys before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Just right after Pats are down. Like, I mean, good luck, dude. Like, he's gonna be good, like top tier good for another 3-4 years probably minimum.
Probably at least 5-6 probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess thanks. That's what I said when they threw that ball. I was like, thanks. Like, you haven't done that all day. Your game plan was working to a T. You're getting the tight end involved. You're throwing to Jacobs. You're getting him mismatched with linebackers. Your short passing game. Your all this stuff, and then you do that. I think it completely changed looking back anyway, because I was in one of my moods with the defense pissing me off. But looking back at the game, that was it for the Packers because they only scored 3 points after that, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
and, we haven't been getting a lot of turnovers this year, and so
exactly.
when you make a game-changing turnover like that, just like he did against the Raiders last year and took it to the house, he doesn't get many, but they're always impactful. They're always
Hmm.
game-changing. They're always big. They're always opportunistic. That's how you know he's a great player, man. It's not just the little things, but in the biggest moments when you need your guy to do something, Pat Surtain does it. He's badass, man. Like I said, I got a chance to meet him this summer. He was at a camp down here in Texas in PJ Locke's hometown, and I got to shoot the crap with him in the secondary, wearing my Broncos stuff to a football camp for a youth football camp in Texas. He's a cool
That's
dude, man.
awesome.
He's a nice guy, and he's every bit of the player too, man. He's awesome. I love Pat.
Yeah, we are extremely lucky to have him. We are spoiled right now, Sean. Not just with the Broncos, but with Colorado sports in general. Like the Avs don't lose at home, the Broncos don't lose at home, the Nuggets don't lose on the road. They got to figure it out at home. I don't know what's going on there, but all three of these teams are awesome. But I don't want to get too far off topic. During the game yesterday, Josh Jacobs was giving me PTSD again, man, because he is a Bronco killer, like
Yep.
certified Bronco killer. And he had that nice catch where it's like, well, we never see him do that against anybody. But of course, he comes up and makes a great catch against the Broncos. And it's Dre Greenlaw, by the way. It's not even really a mismatch.
Yeah.
It's
Wasn't
he's
Singleton
the
there.
yeah, and he covered him well. It's just like perfect throw by Jordan Love.
Yeah.
And boy, is he impressive when he has, Christian Watson in there. But then he had that long touchdown run too, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to come in here and beat the Broncos again. Were you thinking that at all when Josh Jacobs was doing his thing out there
Yeah,
against
my
the Broncos?
frustration was that just absolutely awful passer interference call that gave them a first down when we would have been off the
Riley
field.
Moss.
What a joke, dude. Like even the telecast was like, what the hell is that? Dude, and he runs for a touchdown on the next play. That was one of the worst calls I've ever seen. And if you want to talk about needing replay for penalties or whatever, and I know they won't do it because of, how much it slows down the game, but that was like, I don't even know how they called it other than at this point, you're just throwing flags at Riley Moss because he
He's
gets
Riley
as many
Moss.
as he
Yeah.
does, because there was nothing there. There wasn't even illegal contact. That was arguably one of the worst calls that I've seen all season long, and we've complained about it. And so that's what I was thinking when Jacobs runs the next one, and I'm like, we should have been off the field. Like, that totally just changed the momentum of the game. We got him on 4th and long. Just yeah. But Josh Jacobs he's top 5 in the NFL. He's up there with Henry and Saquon.
Gibbs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a freak when he's healthy, man, and glad he's in the NFC and not a Raider.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And going back to that Riley Moss thing, it's almost like I don't know how you do this when you're at home, but every time the ball's thrown to Riley Moss, I'm like, can I celebrate? Can I celebrate?
Yeah, you gotta wait.
Is there a flag? Like,
Yeah.
And poor Riley's looking around all the time too. He's like, there's not a flag, is there? Like,
yeah,
it's one of the wildest things I've ever seen with one player. It's not the team, it's him.
Yeah.
Only him. And
Yeah.
half the damn time he's not even doing anything.
Yeah. He's had 2 or 3 really bad ones this year. It's
The one against the Chiefs on 3rd and 17 when Mahomes
he
underthrew.
plays so well, man, and to get punished like that is just, it's not fair. And it's, and at this point, like you say, it's 21. That's got to be pass interference. Let me throw it. So yeah, it's not right, dude. And even Pat's brought it up numerous times, and he's going to continue to get thrown at. And if you can't, you can't make calls like that. That's just not right.
This is going to go one of 2 ways in the playoffs, Sean. Riley Moss is going to get called for an egregiously horrible call again in a huge situation. Or the refs are going to be like, you know what? We're going to give him a break. We've been railing on him all season long. Like,
Yeah.
we're not calling this one. You know, they're going to the Super Bowl. We are not going to put our stamp on this. You know, I just see Riley Moss being involved in something that is either going to take the Broncos to the Super Bowl or prevent them from going to it. And it's probably not going to be his fault if it prevents them from going to the Super Bowl.
Thankfully, they swallow the whistle a little bit in the playoffs usually. So hopefully that'll be to his benefit because he deserves it.
Yeah, well, the Ravens game in 2012 kind of says otherwise, Sean, but I digress. Dude, Bo Nix. I was wrong about Bo Nix. I was not only I was dead wrong about Bo Nix. I have never been right about Bo Nix, period. Not once. And I'm man enough to admit that. I'm okay saying that I wanted Brock Bowers, and I was pissed when we drafted Bo Nix. And I thought it would be better for us to draft Brock Bowers. I wonder why. And just like tank last year, right? With Stidham, and just throw to Brock Bowers and then get Shedeur Sanders this year. But this is why I'm not an NFL executive, because all of those decisions would have been horrible for the Broncos to make. I'm glad I didn't do them. I'm glad nobody asked my opinion. And I have just like this podcast where 12 people watch it every week. And I stay away from the football operation, Sean, because Bo Nix is arguably, I don't even think it's arguable at this point. He is right behind Matt Stafford as the NFL MVP. Is he not? Who else is in there?
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Love was until yesterday.
Until he faced a real defense?
Yeah, he had a fairly decent game too. And, obviously there's a few games to go from a statistical standpoint. But, yeah, I mean, he's right. Him and Drake May deserve to be in there statistically.
Oh, yeah, Drake May, sorry.
They're bringing their team exactly where no one thought that they should go. And what else describes an MVP than putting a team? I mean, obviously most people are going to say it's our defense, but the big thing with Bo is it's when they need him to do what he's good at, he does it every single time. And so, if you can just make the first 3 quarters a little bit more like the fourth quarter, and obviously he's improved over the last few weeks, and it's not just been a fourth quarter thing, but dude, when he gets to play like he's likes to play, he's dangerous, man. He's dangerous outside the pocket. The only thing that I don't like is a lot of those plays when he rolls to the right, to the sideline. The one he obviously threw this time where he threw it behind and they got that, 14-yard play, I think it was great. But he takes a lot of chances when he rolls out to the right, to the sideline, and they almost get picked off a lot. And I don't know what that is or why that is. If he just doesn't want to throw it away, or he's like just literally trying to make one last play before he goes out of bounds. That's the one thing that I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah. He does it a lot though. And I'm not smart enough to know what he's looking for or what's going on there, but that's just the one. If I just had to nitpick, I'd be like, I don't know why you're doing that, but I wish you'd stop because it stresses me out.
Well, a lot of times too, when he rolls out, when you watch the tape, there's just one guy there. So that's his only option. And I feel like he thinks that he needs to force it in there, or maybe he has this invincibility thing where he's like, I'm just going to throw it there. I can make this throw. It doesn't matter who's there,
Yeah.
Maybe there's a little bit of that too, but I'm with you. I'm like, stop throwing those, Bo. Like 2 of those yesterday should have been picked off. Like they were in
that last
hands.
That last one was in his hands. Yeah.
Yeah. And that would have changed the momentum immensely in that moment.
I think it was the next play. Wasn't it the play like literally right after Pat's?
I think it was that drive. I don't know if it was that play.
If it wasn't the next one.
But yeah, it was pretty damn close. Or we just give the ball right back.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, to get to your point, the fourth down stuff is getting ridiculous with Bo Nix. Like I'm getting to the point where it's just like, okay, 4th and 8. All right, cool. We're gonna get it. It doesn't matter what you do. They seem unstoppable. On 4th down, they seem unstoppable in the fourth quarter. It is crazy how good they are at executing in those moments. And Sean, it gets you a little bit excited about the possibility of winning a Super Bowl because good teams do that. You got to be able to do those things to win close games because even if the Steelers, and they're terrible, were to come in here for a playoff game, it would be close, right? It'd be close. It's the playoffs. They'd hang around or whatever. The Broncos have to make some plays. But no matter who you play, these games are going to be hard. Home, away, it doesn't really matter. And there's a lot of formidable opponents to come into the AFC, but they're going to have to deal with the most clutch team in the entire league. Just like you were talking about, too. Sean Payton goes for it on 4th down, and I'm texting you like, where is his brain? And then the defense is like, they're not even going to gain a yard. So it's like, they just do what they have to do. And it is incredible to watch. It is unbelievable to watch. And I think we were talking about this off the air, Sean. This team should be undefeated. They are sitting at 12-2, right? 12-2.
Yep.
They should be 14-0 because they did beat the Colts.
A leverage call and a last-second field goal.
This has been an awesome season, man, and it's just getting better and better with Bo Nix, who has never looked better than he did against the Packers in the biggest game that the Broncos have played this year, as far as like, you know what I mean, like hype wise, and like you said, playoff feel and Super Bowl preview, and matching up with an elite quarterback and all. From that standpoint, it was probably the biggest game of the year for the Broncos to this point. So I mean, ever since too, I don't think I did this on the air, but I was talking to you about Bo Nix leaving the pocket early and creating his own pressure against Washington. He did a lot of that. And ever since that game, dude, he's doing none of that. He's standing in the pocket. He knows where he's going with the ball. He is not telegraphing his passes for the most part. He's using his legs to get out of the pocket. He's extending plays. He's not turning the football over. He's not taking sacks. That's been a thing all year. That's his thing. He's got this sack aversion thing, which sometimes is to the detriment of the offense, in my opinion, because it's like he's just going to dump it down instead of like giving the play a chance to develop. Yeah. But still, he's not taking a sack, so we can't really get too upset at that. But Sean, I don't know. I'm running out of superlatives for Bo Nix, for the Broncos. What else do we need to see from them at this point? Because
I mean, so when you talk about Bo and when you do the check downs and things like that, and I think it's easy to do that when you know that the other team can't score. And so you can be okay. A lot of times, and even when we talk in youth football, it's like you always want to have your drive end in a kick, whether that's a punt, a field goal, or a touchdown, or extra point, excuse me. That's kind of how you want to do it. So you just don't, you don't force it. You give what the defense gives you. You take what the defense gives you, and he does that. And I think some of our frustration with that is we've thrown short of the sticks for the last decade with bad quarterbacks and bad teams, and you just lose because you're afraid to go for a first down. But as far as what we need to see, just get healthy, man. Get Brandon Jones healthy. Get Pat Bryant healthy. I think I would like to see Evan Ingram get involved. If I had to pick one thing, consistency from Evan Ingram and getting him the ball more frequently, or figuring out why, because we've seen it in flashes. And you brought a tight end in to do exactly what he sometimes does, and I just don't know why. Like we just don't there was no tight end involvement yesterday at all. None. I don't think Troutman caught a ball. I think Ingram had one catch.
Maybe.
And usually we even get some fullback love. I don't even think he got love yesterday other than that stupid 4th down call. But he usually gets a pass out in the flat for a first down like every game. And so the game plan was just different. But yeah, that would be, if I had to say one thing, it would be getting Evan Ingram involved. I think he'll free up Cortland in the playoffs, and that would be super beneficial for us, I think.
Yes, and having a safety valve for Bo obviously is a good thing. Hopefully, yes. Brandon Jones. Do we know? We don't know anything right now, right?
Pec injury, short-term IR, so he's going to miss at least 4 games.
But nothing else other than that?
I mean, it sounded like he would be back for the AFC Championship game from everything that I read.
Oh, okay. Well, it could always be worse.
And PJ Locke's not the worst backup to have, so he's got starting experience, and he played well this weekend. So,
yeah, well, and RJ Harvey, nothing on him today, I don't think, on the rib injury. Must not be that bad.
Hopefully not. We can't afford that.
Well, but here's the thing, though. If it is a rib thing and he has to sit for 3 weeks, that's fine, right? Because he doesn't need to be back until the playoffs at this point. We got to win, what, 1 game to secure the 1 seed at this point?
Yep.
Essentially?
Yep. Because we don't, well.
Or two games.
Yeah.
And Kansas City ain't beating us with like this.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to be looking icy in our all white uniforms with the white helmets. I guarantee you they're going to wear those on Christmas. I guarantee you they're going to wear those on Christmas. But Sean, something that is concerning me, and people are going to think I'm absolutely insane for this. Don't the Broncos need to lose a game here before the playoffs start? Because they've won 11 games in a row. Okay, so if they win 3 more to close out the season, they will have won 14 games in a row to end the season. And then they'll win another 3 to get to and win the Super Bowl. That would be 17 games in a row, Sean. What are the chances that this team can win 17 games in a row? Does it concern you? And do they need to lose a game?
I know you keep asking me this, but it's I think if you're going to lose one, it's going to be because you're sitting people and it's going to be irrelevant, because I just don't see a formidable opponent left. You know, I know the Chargers beat us before, but again, we had won that game. It was kind of before we got on a roll, obviously, and won 11 straight games. But they always do Charger stuff at the end of the season, and they just never concern me. So let's Rocktober it, bro. Let's ride it all. Let's ride it all the way to the end. I don't see
Bronktober.
Well, I guess it'd be Brockanuary. I don't
know. We got to work on that.
Yeah, we'll work on a word to get to it. But I would assume, you know, outside of the Dolphins' undefeated season, I don't know that it's happened very often. And you know, when the Patriots got to the Super Bowl, they had won what, 18 in a row?
Because they were 18-0. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not unheard of. It's rare. And only, obviously, I don't know if there's more than those 2 teams that have won that many in a row. And I'm sure some people have done it over split seasons. You know, the Super Bowl champion ultimately started the season pretty well the next year. But to do it all in one season and win it is, you know, pretty rare. But let's just do it, dude. Let's not lose anymore. Let's just do it.
I mean, they would arguably be one of the greatest teams of all time, would they not? If they did that?
If they get the sack record and they win those types of games, and they, you know, Bo might be the MVP statistically if they win out, you know what I mean? So, I mean, the landscape could change very, very quickly if they win these last 3 games and they go into the playoffs 15-2 in the 1 seed. It would be wild, man. Yeah, they don't need to lose a game. They'll be all right.
They would have finished the season 18-2, Sean, if they win the Super Bowl. That has to be one of the best teams of all time. It has to be. No one's going to talk about that because this is the no-name Broncos or whatever with, you know, Bo Nix at quarterback. But, I mean, 18-2, you win 17 in a row to get there and win it. Like, how is that not one of the greatest teams of all time? Maybe I'm being biased.
This would be the year, though. This certainly would be the year, you know, because you don't have the teams that are just so dominant at the top And I mean, I guess if you want to say that there is one, it's us.
It's the
You know what I mean?
Broncos.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
but I think some of those offensive games, and when you look at it in depth, like we have from a week to week basis, I think you know better, right? Like we're not as good as some of those all-time great teams, even though we're having just an all-time great run. And I think there's a really big difference, right? Like you can have a great run, you can get hot. You're a baseball guy, you know how that is. You know, you hit anything in or around the zone when you're that hot. So it's just one of those things where I think they got hot at the right time. They are able to lean on just a fantastic defense, and yeah, I think to your point, I don't think they're an all time great team, even if they win the Super Bowl. Every Super Bowl winning team is a great team, but an all time great team, I don't know. I
Bro,
mean, I have to see
that
what
would be they'd be 18-2.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you'd have to see what the statistical numbers are, but it's just
And with it arguably could be 20-0.
true. That is true. Yeah, and they could have the all time
That's
sack record, and
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're not losing another game, bro. Let's get number 4. Let's get this done.
I mean, that fourth Super Bowl puts us in the upper echelon. I mean, we're already there, but like that one really solidifies our spot up there with the Cowboys and the 49ers. Or not the 49ers. 49ers have 6, I think, right? And the Cowboys have 5.
Patriots have the most.
No, I think that Steelers have the most. I think they have 7. Don't they? We have a football podcast and we don't know Super Bowl counts, Sean. What's going on?
Well, yeah, because I mean the Patriots, Cowboys, Niners, Steelers.
Let's take a look.
Chiefs have 4. So we definitely need one more to.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's got to be 3's nice, but like 4's like upper echelon. Okay, so, oh yeah, the Patriots and Steelers, they both have 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Cowboys and Niners have 5, so that would put us right up there with them too.
Yeah.
And then the Packers, Giants, and the Chiefs all have 4, so we would be in elite company at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Let's not. Who wants to be part of the three-time club? Let's be in the 4-time club.
Let's leave the Raiders there by themselves. Do they have 3? I think they have 3. I don't care. Who cares? It's not a comedy club, like you said.
Yeah, they can't.
Yeah, the Raiders.
Anymore,
the Raiders. So. They do have 3. So, what are your thoughts then, Sean, about the pressure that would be applied on the Broncos as the home team, as a 15-2 team, with everything expected of them? Actually, I don't even know if everything would be expected of them if they were 15-2. I feel like the Bills would come in here and they would be favored.
They would. We would get crapped on every week, dude. We would be an underdog, the home team underdog almost every week because they're all haters. Nick Wright and all those people are such jackasses, dude. They would just be like, oh, they're just this or that or whatever, and the Chiefs should have done this. And shut up, dude. It's just, yeah, I guarantee you we would be underdogs to the Bills.
And the Ravens.
Guarantee it.
The Ravens too, right?
Maybe if they were to win in the first round and get into the second round. Yeah, dude. I don't think you'd have to worry about that because I think we're going to get crapped on so much that they would just have a chip on their shoulder. I don't think it's going to be like we're the big bad 17-2 team in the Super Bowl. Like, you know, it would get talked about, of course, because we would be 17-2, but we'd probably be the Super Bowl underdog to the Rams or, you know, not the Eagles anymore, but
I don't know. They turn it on. It on. Don't bury them yet.
Yeah, they'll find a way to make us underdogs. I honestly don't think we would be drinking our own Kool-Aid. I think we would have that going for us for sure.
I think we would be favored against the Texans, the Jags, the Chargers, but not the Ravens or the Bills. Steelers for sure. Not the maybe the Patriots. Maybe.
I don't know. Probably because they've had one of the easiest schedules of the playoff teams. So
true, that's true. But still, people would be like, "Can they're not going to do it. They're the Broncos, and Bo Nix hasn't proven anything." Like I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to talk about, Sean, real quick, because this is fun. Rather than talking about like who's going to replace Nathaniel Hackett and who are we going to get to play quarterback, we are now talking about who are the Broncos going to play in the Super Bowl. That's what I want to talk about. So we have all those three teams in the West are contenders, and I don't care what anybody says about the Niners. The coaching job that Kyle Shanahan has done with all those injuries is nothing short of spectacular. He's probably the coach of the year, in my opinion. You got the Packers, who are not dead. You got the Bears, and you got the Eagles. And whoever comes out of the South doesn't really matter. But I mean, I guess Tampa Bay could make a run, but who excites you the most? Who do you think would be there, assuming that the Broncos got there? What does that matchup look like for you? Who is it?
It's the Rams. They have the most experience. They have the two most electric wide receivers, arguably, in the NFL. If they're healthy, I know they're battling injuries, and so is Stafford. But they have the experience. They have a Super Bowl win. They're the most dangerous team outside of the Eagles getting hot. The Bears, it's your first rodeo. You know, you were in first place for 5 minutes and then you lost a game you shouldn't have lost, and gave it right to the Packers. So I don't, we beat the Bears. Obviously we just beat the Packers. I think it's going to be the Rams. I think the Rams come out of the NFC. I don't really see, a big time threat, but then again, they lost to the Panthers, just a couple weeks ago. So yeah, but I mean, who would I want to see? I don't want to see the Rams, so I would like it to be someone else. But I think it's going to be the Rams, which is crazy to me because I know when we did our preseason predictions, I laughed at you when you said the Rams and Stafford had a back injury. But I think we both picked the Eagles. I think Eagles Ravens. I think is who we had. So and the Eagles. Every time they're just like the Chiefs, you count them out, but once they're in, they're dangerous. So
they're not dead, dude. I'm telling you right now.
If their offensive line gets healthy, that's the issue with the Eagles right now, is that their studs that have been there forever are hurt. And if those guys are healthy in the Super Bowl, then they're dangerous. So, I think I'll say Rams, Eagles in the NFC Championship game with the Rams coming out on top. That's my guess.
Dude, I think the Bears are a lot more trouble than you. I told you this in the preseason. I said the Bears are going to make the playoffs. You also laughed at me for that.
Yeah.
But
I'm a Caleb Williams hater.
I take the victory lap because I've had so many horrible takes as well. So I like when I have these pretty decent takes.
The Seahawks. The Seahawks out there too, right?
Yeah. How about exacting some revenge on those guys in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
I did pick the Seahawks. That is the one that you laughed at me for when I said this.
I did. I was like, Jackson Darnold? Like, really? Or what's his name? Is it Jack?
Sam.
What is his name? Sam Darnold. Who's Jackson Darnold?
It's Jackson Dart combo. You're comboing all the whites together.
Yeah, dude. Count me in for a Super Bowl against the Seahawks because that guy doesn't scare me. I think they're fraudulent. They needed almost overtime to beat Grandpa Rivers yesterday at home.
Well, they without overtime.
Without Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I think.
Are you going Rams? You think it's going to be the Rams?
Do I think it'll be the Rams? Man. Depending if you think that we're going to go and win a game in the playoffs in the cold.
The Rams?
I don't know about that. I would, yeah. What if Chicago or Green Bay has home field?
Well, Green Bay.
You really think the Rams are going to go in there?
Chicago's the only hope to unseat them at the 1 now. They got 2 games, or at least a game and a half, because the Packers have a tie. I don't think the
or Seattle,
can get
right?
games. Yeah.
Okay. Here's my last question. Elite wide receivers, elite quarterback, very gettable pass defense. Agreed with the Rams? Like we could pass on those guys.
Sure. Yeah.
Do the Broncos beat the Rams in the Super Bowl? Does Matt Stafford against man coverage scare you a little bit? Because Matt Stafford is not a dink and dunk. He's going to throw the ball down the field, and he's going to get some flags. He's going to get some pass interference. He's going to get some illegal contact. He's going to challenge the Broncos with one-on-one coverage. So what do you?
Yeah, the tough part's
They
going to
can
be.
run
I
that
mean,
ball.
you remember what Pat did to Devontae when he played for the Raiders last time. He had what, 17 yards? It's going to be.
But
he didn't have Nakua, and so that can Riley cover one or the other, or are they going to have to roll a safety over? And that's going to be the biggest thing, dude, because those dudes are legit, both of them. And Devontae's having a hell of a season, but I think he pulled his hammy yesterday. And that's one of those things that could linger. But Pat can lock down one of them. He absolutely can. He could take Devontae out of that game. And so then you gotta contain Puka. I think we win that game, bro. I think the defense is legit enough, and I think we can score enough points that I think we could win that game.
The problem with the Rams is you could play too high, right, on defense. They're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
And they can run the ball.
Yeah.
They have a really, really good pass rush too. That would be a hell of a game for the Broncos to be in their white uniforms against the Rams. We're not wearing orange in the Super Bowl, should we get there. But I'll tell you what, it's an exciting time, Sean, and I just watch this team in disbelief every week, and I'm like, we won again? We won again.
Yep.
Like, it's just I've never seen anything like this as a Broncos fan. We saw the Peyton Manning teams were good, but they didn't reel off 15 wins in a row. You know, like, it's just insane.
They threw a lot of touchdowns, though.
They did. And they put like 50 on everybody. And that was fun, dude. But in the end, they didn't win the Super Bowl. So, for real, my last question this time. If the Broncos, let's say they go 14-3, they're the 1 seed, they lose in the first round, or they lose in the AFC Championship. At that point, Sean, is the season a failure?
No. I don't think that there's anything that could make this season a failure if you go solely on what expectations were. Because most people, there was people on the national broadcast picking the Broncos to finish last. And it wasn't just one person, it was multiple people.
Nick Wright.
Yeah, Nick Wright's an idiot, dude. And so you can't have your last name be right and be wrong all the damn time. But I mean, obviously you hope that that's not the case, and there would be incredible disappointment. But no, if anyone would have said that we were going to be the 1 seed, we were debating if we could win the division. That could be a 4 seed for whatever reason. So no, I don't. There's so much growth in this team, and there's so much promise for the next couple of years before you have to pay Bo. There would be plenty of disappointment, but I don't think that there's nothing at this point that could make this, knock on wood, that could make this season, a failure, I guess.
Well, and you never know, too, with the NFL, Sean. It could be this year they're super dominant, but they don't win a Super Bowl. And then one year they go like 10-7, 9-8. They sneak into the playoffs, and that's how they win.
Yeah.
You never know. It's and that's why the Bills are freaking dangerous, dude. Like, I don't like them. I don't want to play them. But we're probably going to have to play them either in the first round or in the AFC Championship. So right now I'm just going to enjoy where we're at and not worry about Josh Allen running all over the place. But Sean, this is exciting time to be a Broncos fan. Thanks everybody for listening. We are the Bronc Bros, Adam and Sean, although half my name's hidden by our very, what's the word I'm looking for? A very
festive.
Thank you. A very festive background because we had technical difficulties. Listen to us on YouTube, on Spotify, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Make sure to follow us on social media at BroncBros_. Follow me at Adam Knows Ball. God, what a pompous a-hole that guy is. And and follow Sean to his local, what is it today, Sean? Farmers market. All right.
Sure.
We have been Adam and Sean. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will be with you hopefully after another Broncos win this coming Sunday against the Jags. As always, go Broncos.
Go Broncos.